You're listening to The Bullet, a Revolver Santiago Megazine podcast. Hey, we are here at Studio Infrasondido, and this is The Bullet podcast, a Revolver Santiago Megazine production. Santiago, it's a beautiful sunny day, a little chilly, getting a break from the rain, and we're here with the band Boca Seca from Coyhaique.
En un lejano rincón de un mundo sobrevendido, en la tierra del Patagón está morando un viejo bandido que a Tehuelche lo mató. Y al bosque lo hizo arder. Y ahora viene por las aguas. Piratas siempre habrán, no solo en el mar. En Aysén hay caranchos que rondan. En un lejano rincón de un mundo sobrevendido, en la tierra del Patagón está morando un viejo bandido que a Tehuelche lo mató. Y al bosque lo hizo arder. Y ahora viene por las aguas.
I'm Sean from the States, and here with Rich.
Hello.
Where are you from?
I'm from Bristol.
Bristol, that's
Born
right.
and inbred.
That's right, home of Cary Grant. I
That's
remember.
the one. Well, it's good. We can remember.
Yeah. With Boca Seca, we have Dave Claudel.
King David.
Excuse me, King David.
King David.
And,
We use our chapas here.
okay, so please, Nancho, introduce yourself.
Nancho Arteaga.
Yeah, so we're here.
Drums.
Yeah.
Drums.
Nancho is the musician of the band,
Ah.
the drummer par excellence, and the toque fino, the fine touch that we have. That's kind of a signature.
Right, yeah.
Excellent. And for me, this is a really special podcast for our listeners because our lead singer, David, is actually a friend of mine from college that I'm having the pleasure of interviewing today here in Santiago. And that's a long story I'm not going to go into, but
23 years ago, I used to go watch Sean sing in her bands in
that's
college.
right.
Now she's going to go see me 23 years later.
I've just been
in
outed as a
Santiago.
singer.
So it's funny how how stories intertwine and come back around.
Forgot
yeah.
about
Good.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I had such big hair. Yeah, that's another story. So, yeah, tell us about the band a little bit.
Boca, Seca. Bueno, Nacho. I want to let Nacho talk
Yeah,
about some
yeah.
of these things.
Por favor, dime
Habla de la banda,
del
dice.
grupo.
Bueno, la banda lleva 2 años.
2 years.
Dos años de música. Nos
ya.
juntamos, nos conocimos en un cumpleaños.
Uh-huh.
We got together.
Así-
So I'll kind of translate a little bit
Yeah,
too.
okay.
We got together for Franco in Bajon. Franco
Yeah.
Martiniello is the bass player in Boca Seca.
Yeah.
We got together for his birthday. His birthday party was kind of just a one-off thing where we played some covers. And after that, it just... Estoy traduciendo como...
Feliz cumpleaños, claro, en un cumpleaños de Franco. Ahí
Ah.
nos dimos cuenta que ahí conocí a David. Yo
Yeah,
conocí-
I met Nancho
Oh,
and I,
you
we
met him
met there.
at the birthday, at Franco's birthday.
Yeah. Well, when we got together to practice to play some songs at that birthday party, Franco wanted live music and he wanted his friends to be the live music, basically.
Nice.
And so he got us together, and I'd never met Nancho. I knew Pancho a bit. Pancho's the other guitarist.
Right.
I knew I was getting to know Leo, but I didn't really know him. Who's the percussionist?
Uh-huh.
Leo Soto, and it's kind of how it formed. It just started congealing and took off. Then it turned into original music.
Bueno, ahí nos dimos cuenta de que había algo. No era solamente hacer música por diversión. No, había algo bueno.
Exactly.
Llevamos 2 años.
We realized that it wasn't just we weren't doing it just for kicks. There was actually something that was good about it, that was working, and that kept us going. And our families, we've all have wives, kids, and everything, and they've supported us throughout the whole.
Oh, that's
Yeah, yeah.
great.
The whole
So
time, so.
there was just a moment when pasó un momento cuando toda la gente en el grupo dice que, wow, ¿qué pasó? When a moment passed where you just found that this was really gelling and happening.
That was when. ¿En qué momento dijo cuando se dieron cuenta de que la vez se estaba uniendo y agarrando vuelo? Se está preguntando, yo creo que fue en el cumpleaños.
Yo creo que cuando empezamos a hacer cover, después en forma natural y espontánea se dio la música, a improvisar.
We started improvising after that round of covers that lasted one birthday. we started improvising our own stuff, and it just started clicking, and we started kind of raw and practicing in the bodega, in the warehouse of the local office supply chain, which Leo kindly provided for us.
Nice.
We practiced on the second floor there, second story.
For our listeners, we're also getting filmed here in studio today by percussionist Leo. So, hoping we're looking pretty.
Maybe we can do a little thing and stick it up on the Revolver website.
Maybe.
Maybe this
All
could be like a
right.
brand
Let
new
us know
thing.
if you guys want that. Maybe.
One of the cool
naked.
things right now in Coyhaique that's also
No, he's not. Everyone has clothes on.
one of the cool things in Coyhaique. There's a really nascent music rock scene.
Yeah.
There's everywhere from our kind of rock to metal to rock a little harder to punk. There's all sorts of there's a band called Abre Cadaver that just came up and recorded their album in Santiago and released it there, and it's death thrash metal, and it's really well done. And now they're launching themselves nationally and probably internationally. There's a couple bands like that. There's a band called Turbo Diesel.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think
has a young guy named Angel who's actually going to the Berklee School of Music this coming year.
Wow.
On scholarship. He's an incredible guitarist.
Wow.
Nice.
So there's all these different. We've had this festival that a band from Aysén, a group from Aysén called Aysén Rock.
Yeah.
They've had this festival we played in the fourth episode, the 4th year of the festival, or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the 5th year, which was last year, we helped them produce it, and all the local bands played there, and we got the Tavernarios came down from Santiago to play.
Oh, cool.
And it's been that was really good. And this year we're gonna go even more out for Aysén Rock 6.
Which is really interesting for anyone who doesn't know Chile well, and if you haven't traveled around, you're hearing Patagonia, and you're thinking the wild, the glaciers. You're thinking just rough terrain to go adventuring in, but where Coyhaique is in the center of Patagonia, or near the center, and so you've also got a really big rock scene down there, which I'm going to say is absolutely something that came to surprise me as not being from the area. So that's kind of interesting and cool to know that as isolated as it is, seemingly, that it's really connected with the world of rock.
Well, and if you look, all these bands have families too, and it's the sort of place that allows you to have the time to have your job, have your family, have your music, your hobby, whatever. Coyhaique is that sort of place, and get out into the fresh air.
Right, yeah.
Like we're all horses as hell right now because we came up, it was also been raining and cold and stuff, so we already have good colds going, but you hit the smog here in Santiago.
Oh, the smog is horrific.
You kind of forget
here.
it after a while, but it's nasty.
Yeah, if you're not used to it, the smog here, they always say it's better than Mexico City, and that's just not saying a lot.
It really doing
so
anyone
bad.
favors.
It's so bad.
Is it worse at the moment or better at the moment? I forget.
It's supposed to be better than Mexico City.
But like right now, because like the smog has
the
like
smog,
winter
you can
and summertime.
No, winter is the worst. You can cut it with a knife right now. In fact, it rained 3 days ago, and right now you almost can't see the mountains for the smog.
Right.
And I should be able to see the mountains from my living room window through 2 buildings.
Right, okay,
I get
so
a mountain
high.
and a half.
Nancho's gonna talk a little bit about how we actually got to be in Santiago right now.
Cool.
'Cause we're
Yeah,
up here on a 2-night stand,
Yeah.
which was really
Yeah.
a good platform for us to jump off from.
So they've traveled all the way up from Coyhaique. We're in Santiago, and they have 2 shows tonight. One in Santiago, and the next one is in a community of Santiago, La Florida.
Almost
Okay.
in Puente Alto. It's pretty
Yeah,
far out there, but it's a good rock club
Yeah.
Right.
in Babylon.
Okay.
And that's thanks to Tabernario.
La invitación que tuvimos ha sido bien especial. Bien especial porque la banda Tabernario la conocimos en Aysén.
Yeah.
En Aysén no es
but-
fácil llegar a Aysén.
Sí.
No es fácil.
The invitation we had to come play now
Yeah.
this long weekend in Santiago was from Tabernarios, which is a rock band in Santiago that's they're very well done, and they went down to Aysén to play in the Aysén Rock Festival, and so we got to know each other there. That's kind of what
Yeah.
estoy tratando de interpretarlo.
También se dio una muy buena onda, mucho feeling.
Cool.
Mucho
They
feeling
really
con-
hit it off.
sí,
Yeah.
mucho
Yeah,
feeling.
that's great.
We were up all night last night playing with, and there's other bands too, like Hielo Negro. We've gotten to be friends with and played with a couple times down there.
Are you playing with them up here on this?
No, we're playing with Tavernarios and Devil Presley.
Ah, that's right. Okay.
We were gonna play with Hielo, but I don't know what that
Ended up changing.
schedules got changed
Yeah,
and
yeah.
mixed up. But no, they're gonna be two good shows.
Excellent. Okay.
Hablo de la música de Hielo. You want us to talk a little bit, like 2 minutes, about the music that we do,
that'd be
because we're
great.
gonna be.
Okay.
Bueno, nosotros estamos muy contentos también y esto va a ser una experiencia muy buena como banda.
Okay.
Estar acá, compartir con bandas que han estado en Coyhaique y nos han dado la posibilidad de venir a tocar acá, invitación, y del colectivo que se está formando, que eso igual va a ser un buen referente tanto nacional, porque se está armando un colectivo a nivel de regiones.
So you can. I can.
Yeah, and Nancho said, I'm going to try to remember, Lil. Nancho said that what's happening now with us, the opportunity that we have now to be here in Santiago, and the opportunity that some of these bands have had to go down to Coyhaique has allowed us to sort of congeal a network of like-minded musicians and bands at the interregional level. Mm-hmm. And now we know, they know they can go to Coyhaique, play, be well received, sound good. We know we can come here and do that now. And there's also a lot of, buena onda. A lot of. Last night we were jamming, just mixing musicians up from the bands. And it was great.
Fun, very fun. And buena onda is just a good. It's literally a good vibration, but there's not a good translation for it. It's just a good feeling.
Buena onda.
Buena onda, yeah. It's like, it was a cool time. It's a good, everybody fell well with each other. And that's so Spanglish. Everybody got along.
Gringos to me in Chile, being a gringo, we have the obligation to, there's certain terms that
just don't translate.
You just gotta say them in.
Yeah, just don't translate. Yeah.
Chileno.
Yeah, exactly. So, and also, for anybody that hasn't been to Chile, Chile's a really long, skinny country, and it has 12 or 15 regions.
15
I'm embarrassed.
Regions.
15, well, at least the second choice was right. 15 regions that are almost as long, or a little bit longer, as the United States is wide. And if you think of how much of a distance the bands really are from each other physically, and what's happening with this network of national bands coming together is really a pretty neat thing for the groups involved have those connections.
We traveled almost 2,000 kilometers yesterday,
Which is how many miles?
About 800 miles.
800 miles.
850, 60, something like that.
Okay. It's a long
my
way.
mental calculator working too well right now, but
lejos. Y bueno, entonces hay muchos grupos que llegan de 100 para el festival y para tocar allá.
This year we hope to take more. We were going to have 2 bands last year, but the other band, Mierdaster, which is more good, kind of hardcore punk. They had a little problem with at the airport with getting their gear on the plane, and the airport didn't want to collaborate. Not the airport, but we don't want labor
travel problems.
Anyway. There were some travel problems, so they didn't get there. Only Chino, the lead singer, got there, and he got there for the asado at the end. But well received.
Good. Dime por la área en Coyhaique es un buen lugar para músicos que tienen vida también, más que músico. Y tiene una comunidad de música allá que más o menos es rock. And just trying to get a feel, Coyhaique is an area it's very livable, has a community for rock, pero cuando llegas a Santiago, ¿qué es diferente aquí? What's different about Santiago and the community of musicians, la comunidad de músicos, y el grupos, y bars, y landa? How is it different here, basically?
¿Cómo se diferencia la escena rock acá en Santiago? Allá teniendo tiempo y para hacer la música junto a las otras cosas, la pega. ¿Cómo lo vemos? ¿Cómo lo ves tú? Tú lo has vivido también, así que...
El grupo ha caído en un momento muy bueno de poder conocer a bandas que llevan años haciendo música, trabajando. Uh-huh. Y son muy buenos exponentes en su música. Y tenemos la suerte de estar con ellos compartiendo y realizando planes a futuro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he says we're very fortunate to have this opportunity to play with bands that have been working for years and are working hard. And I think one of the your question. One of the main differences here, you have to work a lot harder. You have to dedicate more time, more effort into having a band because the distances are so much farther apart. To travel, to rehearse, you got to coordinate that. A lot of times you got to go across town, and you have to do that with 5, 6 people, 4 or 5 people anyway. Yeah, and it's you really have to have the dedication,
right,
to be a band here
in Santiago.
Whereas in Coyhaique, we
yeah.
can. We have our practice schedule every Saturday, and shows almost every weekend, every other weekend. Mm-hmm. But we also have we don't have to dedicate as much time to get to rehearsal. To get to rehearsal, it's 2 minutes for us.
So
minutes.
the actual size of the city of Santiago actually commits musicians that are living here to be a lot more dedicated to only music and spend a lot more time in making gigs happen, making the rehearsals come together.
Right.
So
that's probably the number one killer of bands here is that, you know, even when there's intention, if they don't have the time or the energy to put into to having regular rehearsals and making sure everybody gets there, it doesn't work.
Interesting.
Estoy diciendo también que yo veo una de las diferencias es el tiempo que acá tú tienes que tener. Las bandas con quienes estamos tocando ahora tienen esa dedicación.
Tiempo, espacio.
Ellos se dedican a... pero hay que hacer una dedicación superior, una inversión de energía, tiempo, esfuerzo, porque no es asunto de 5 minutos estar ensayando. Acá tenés que
mucha demanda de tiempo.
Mucha demanda de tiempo.
Cool. So now you guys have just recorded a new CD, or you're recording?
Well, we've just finished recording our second demo.
Second demo, okay. Okay, and the first demo has been out for a while.
Yeah, in fact, we need to start remaking copies of that and maybe remaster it, because that's pretty good, actually. The first
copy.
First demo was a very good summary of what Boca Seca was in that moment in time when it was the end of 2008, November 2008.
Yeah.
And Pancho was there full time.
Yeah.
Pancho, the other guitarist.
Yeah.
For the second demo, has been in Santiago. He got a job that he couldn't refuse, basically.
Right.
That, you know, we weren't going to replace him.
Yeah.
So, but that forced us to change our way of playing, and so in that time we came up with new songs, which he, as you'll hear, and even in this is the first time we've ever played acoustically, for example.
Right.
You'll hear.
Thank you.
They just expand to, you know, to a whole new level when Pancho comes to play and sings, and he'll hopefully be picking up his functions again soon.
Cool. Very cool. Okay. So the new CD, and we have...
It has 5 songs on it. I'll tell you a little. Nancha can tell you about the songs.
Sí,
There's 5
dime.
songs on the CD.
Canciones.
5 canciones.
Cinco canciones que salieron a principios de este año, pero empezaron de una manera y terminamos grabando de otra, porque en cada momento que nos juntábamos había un desarrollo diferente. Entonces hemos ido trabajando, desarrollando aún más el sonido.
Sí,
Empezamos de una manera, ahora estamos...
¿Cada canción es súper diferente? ¿O
no, el sonido más clásico, vintage, un sonido, buscar un sonido vintage que nos sienta cómodo.
Nancho's saying that we've been, you know, every time we play a song, it comes out a little bit differently, and it keeps maturing, and we've developed this sound that we call the vintage sound. Because we use, you know, tube amps and good quality gear, and you know, for us it has to sound good,
right.
in order for it to be worth listening to and fun to play and whatnot. And that's that goal has always not forced. I mean, it's been the driving force behind why the songs keep taking on this new life almost every time we play them.
Yeah.
And these 5 songs are, you know, it's a moment in time that we recorded, and next one's going to sound much different.
Yeah.
But they're 5 good songs.
Cool.
A little bit harder this time.
Okay.
Lyrics.
Yeah, the lyrics are, that's another thing where we place a lot of importance in, you know, I've always liked good lyrics that go with the music, and lyrics that, you know, aren't sappy, and lyrics that tell a story or try to paint some detail of you know, we sing a lot about what life is like there, not romantically, not folklorically, but more, you know, we'll talk about the 4 cousins that get, you know, break the knives out when they're playing, you know, they're betting a 40 acres at a game of truco, you know, and
truco is like poker.
We have this song called 20 hectares or 40 acres, whatever, where you know, 2 sets of brothers basically play it out, and they're playing dirty, and so the knives come out. The lyrics are that. We have lyrics for truckers about
so
life
you're not
on
running
the road.
around rhyming gain to pain to rain to
No,
yeah.
no. It's a constantly evolving job of really getting the lyrics down well. And usually we start out, somebody comes up with an idea.
Yeah.
I like to write lyrics, and then Franco helps out a lot also. Now we've all been throwing in. It's become much more a collective thing, especially with
cool.
Franco.
Yeah.
And the stories are good.
Yeah.
We're going to sing a couple today.
Okay, cool.
I think one of them that we're going to sing, we did one called El Arriero.
Yeah.
Which, better leave that one untranslated.
Okay.
We did one called Cabron.
Yeah.
Which it probably refers a little to what's going on in the world.
Okay.
We have one called Piratas, which we'll probably play.
Pirates.
That's
okay.
That's a song that we sort of sang it thinking of the Patagonia Sin Represa movement.
Yeah, which is gosh, that's a huge movement. It's talking about Patagonia being more.
Well, it's something that it's a decision that that can't be taken lightly. It's the region is going, on one hand, it's trying to develop its tourism industry, and on the other hand, there's this idea of installing 12 mega dams,
right?
And
right.
Just the material that you have to
right.
just the rock, everything you need to make the cement, and from there on out it's just a
huge tourism.
destruction.
Yeah.
So they're two incompatible goals, and
right.
We all of us, and at least in the band and our friends and family, pretty much are all in the camp of the let's try to leave it a bit more natural.
Yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful area, Coyhaique. All the way, it's like about 2 hours from the coast, and it's full of lakes and mountains and rivers, and a lot of dry land in between, and the summer for a tiny bit, and then it rains a lot.
Yeah, it's got very important wetlands geography, for example. Mm-hmm. Actually, one of the good things the SAG and INDAP now are doing. There's a lot of funds. There's a fund opening up to take on a lot of preservation issues and try to put them in the policy, in the regional policy. So that's good.
Okay.
That's why when you hear about the dams, it doesn't fit in with any of this.
Interesting. Interesting.
por su vocación.
Que viste de negro, es el que viene a joder, es un soldado privado de este nuevo poder.
Enciérrate en tu casa, obedece a tu nuevo patrón, o sale a defenderte. Se viene la guerra en contra del cabrón. Cuando de reojo caché al cabrón, me tenía en la mira de su ojo de halcón.
Hoy viste de negro, hoy viene a joder, es un hijo de puta de este nuevo poder.
Enciérrate en tu casa, obedece a tu nuevo patrón, no sale a defenderte. Se viene la guerra en contra del cabrón. El arriero volvía a la región por una vieja senda por ahí. Su pelchero cargaba 10 de la buena y era toda para mí. En una veranada animales encontró. El hombre no era malo, tampoco weón. 8 vaquillas para carne, el arriero llevó. Y en Yereguau el arriero cayó en la trampa de una mujer. Pasaron las horas, el hombre durmió, olvidándose de su deber. mañana recién lo despertó, cuando el dueño de esos animales en su Hummer pasó, y de pronto se encuentra con sus propios animales, buscando forraje en el camino. Mano va en busca del ladrón, de la casa la huifa el arriero arrancó, y la mona le jugó una mala pasada, en una quebrada cayó, y en Yerehuao y en Carlos cayó en las manos de una mujer. Pasaron las horas, nunca llegó, el arriero no fue a perder.
So we listened to Cabrón and
El Arriero.
El Arriero, and we're doing an interesting. We've recorded 2 songs. We're doing the interview, and then they're gonna continue recording a few more songs. So I'm not sure if we're gonna mix them in or not, but. Dime un poco más para la futura de Boca Seca. ¿Qué quieres hacer? ¿Qué desarrollo?
El desarrollo de Boca Seca. Yo creo que ahora...
What's going to happen in the future with Boca Seca?
Yo creo que ahora se viene la posibilidad de generar redes, de seguir en la incursión fuera de regiones, poder mostrar la música fuera de regiones.
So, leaving the region to play music. ¿Qué hace eso este fin de semana?
Correcto,
Yeah,
como este fin de semana.
Yeah, so he's talking about leaving the region.
And Nacho also says, which is important through this network that's developing of like-minded bands and whatnot.
Va a ser un buen comienzo. Un buen comienzo, sí.
It's gonna be a good
Yo creo que
next step.
el resultado también de un trabajo que hemos estado haciendo 2 años para atrás.
Okay.
Hemos sido constantes,
Exactly.
disciplinados.
Good. So for 2 years,
It says us being here now is a result of 2 years of discipline and work and hard work on the songs and hard work in terms of we have a very good relationship in between all the musicians that we've also worked on and that's been a great experience too. It's been one of the things that allows us now to think about, what's next down the road.
Yeah.
Which will be a well-recorded album, how we want to do it with Pancho. More playing, like Nacho said, outside of the Aysén region. Come up here to Santiago, we want to go to Valparaíso, Valdivia, Conce. Those.
Good.
And
okay.
maybe even farther north.
Good. Okay. So is there anything that in coming to Santiago, granted the smog is horrific and I apologize for you guys, even though I didn't really do much because I don't even own a car in Santiago. So my carbon footprint is very small.
Very good.
But is there anything that you're excited about this weekend? You've got 2 shows with some great bands.
Everything. ¿De qué estamos más animados para este fin de semana? ¿Qué es lo que más, donde más esperamos? Pasarlo bien. Todo, ¿cierto? Everything.
Yeah.
De hecho, para nosotros ha sido muy bonito estar acá, de plantearnos este desafío, de venir acá a grabar,
Yeah.
de venir a participar con la radio, con ustedes.
Ah, thank
Y
you.
no, genial.
Cool.
Genial.
Exactly.
Cool.
No, as Nacho says, here we're just trying to have fun in every single thing we do, take advantage of every opportunity, like coming here to the radio today and taking you up on that offer and all that. It's,
Great.
we came for
Great.
that,
Yeah.
Tonight we're gonna play till we can't sing anymore, until our fingers bleed, and tomorrow we're gonna do the same thing.
Excellent. So they'll be singing in blood. I like it. So, okay, I've got kind of a shoot from the hip question, kind of a non sequitur. If and this is just for this moment, if you could think of like any band from any time that you would want to play with, what kind of lineup are we looking at?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, cada grupo, cada tiempo, no importa.
Elegir cualquier banda de la historia del rock para
Sí.
tocar con ellos.
Para hoy día. Puede ser cambiar tu mente en algunas.
Difficult.
Yeah, I know.
Very
I know.
That's tough.
Yeah. Or
If we had to say an answer, I think probably between all of them. ¿Qué dices tú, Led Zeppelin? Así la mezcla entre todos, tocaríamos con Led Zeppelin, una cosa así, ¿no? O Aerosmith, o no sé.
No.
puede ser un festival, no
Led
importa.
Zeppelin.
Maybe it's a lot of bands.
I don't know. It's a lot of bands. I mean, everybody in this
Yeah.
band. That's another great thing about the band is everybody's got different influences, and everybody puts their own influence into it.
AC/DC.
So, AC/DC, for example,
Yeah.
that's another good band that we would all agree that we would like to play with for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me again the names of everybody in the band and what they play, just for our listeners. Yeah. Todos los nombres de la gente en el grupo y que tocan.
Franco Martiniello,
Bajón.
Okay.
el
Y
nickname sería
Bajón.
Bajón.
He plays the bass.
Okay.
So he's
Yeah.
Bajón.
Okay.
Segunda guitarra
Yeah.
y segunda voz, Pancho Lazo.
Okay. Cool. The
We call
second
him
voice. of the
Pancho
band.
Lazo.
O sea, en las percusiones Leo Soto.
Okay.
Sí.
Percussion.
Percussion.
Who's taping us right now?
Leo plays too much tennis, and he's got tennis elbow. That's why he's
Oh, that's it.
taking care of his arm for tonight.
Primera
Okay.
guitarra King David y batería Nacho Arteaga.
Okay. Cool.
Sí.
Very cool. Thank you so much for coming in today. I really appreciate it. Again, for our listeners, this is a really special treat because this is one of my college buddies from way back when, and I had forgotten that you came to my bands. That's hysterical.
Yeah, Sean used to sing in
Yeah.
seedy little bars on the
Seedy little bars.
back alleys of Washington, D.C.
Oh, I wish I got into the seedy little
Oh,
bars.
yeah. We have a song that we're going to sing after we sing Piratas or before
Yeah.
that
Seedy
we'll
little bar.
dedicate to Sean today.
Excellent.
Called Ella Tiene Piernas.
She's got legs.
tengo
Nice. Nice. Okay. Mira, thank you for listening today. This is us at The Bullet saying goodbye, and you can probably catch some interesting stories with our link with Revolver Santiago Megazine. I'm looking forward to seeing the show live, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Ciao, bye, and we'll see you next week, or we'll talk to you next week. Thanks.
Ella tiene piernas, yo tengo sed. noches de carretera no me hacen bien. Entro en calor, me dan ganas de tomar cualquier trago amargo en cualquier bar. Esa luz de neón es mi invitación. Se me sube la adrenalina, detengo el camión. Yo pongo el rock, ella pone roll, unas vueltas en el catre, nunca le hicieron mal, ni al cura, ni al cural, ni al chofer del camión. Ella me hace cariño mientras yo me tomo mi ron, y las noches de carretera así se pasan bien. Ella tiene piernas, yo tengo sed. Caigo en la trampa una y otra vez. Caigo en la trampa una y otra vez. Y las noches de carretera así se pasan bien. Ella tiene piernas, yo tengo sed. Caigo en la trampa una y otra vez. Caigo en la trampa una y otra vez. Y las noches de carretera así se pasan bien.